32 years, and one of the I call it confess a dirty little secret about company travel policies is the very few companies that we observe, and we observe hundreds and hundreds of companies, very few of them actually enforce those policies. So today what we'd like to do is say, how can we build those so that the travelers know them and also are able to enforce them, and that more importantly that the travelers are engaged with them. I have a little story that it's a cute one. When I think about travel policies, I always think of a little story about a person who moved to a new town and was looking for a new church, and he found a new church, and he called it a little liberal church, because instead of the 10 commandments, it had 4 commandments and 6 solutions. And that's kind of how the travel policies are enforced. There's some policies in there that are really enforced, and some are kind of enforced, and some are kind of suggestions. So it made me think of that story when I was preparing for this presentation. The one thing that I would like to make very clear is that it's very important that you do have a travel policy. Rather than throw it in the garbage can, it's very important that you understand that that people need a travel policy. The problem is we've built them in such a manner that oftentimes they may be 30 pages long. And in today's world, you understand that very few people are going to read more than 3 or 4 paragraphs at the most. They're going to give you about 30 seconds of time. 30 to 45 seconds of time, and if we can't communicate in that period of time, we've lost them. One of the things that I often look at is and say, does that traveler that needs to go and fly from Omaha to Chicago, do they ever look at that travel policy? And they're basically saying, how do I get to Chicago, get home, see the kids at night, and do it fast and easy? They're thinking, what's in it for me? How can I get this done quickly? And if we have a travel policy that's 30 pages long, they're never going to look at it. And so everybody loses in that scenario. The traveler loses because he doesn't understand or know what the advantages of that travel policy are. The company loses because he probably spent more time and more money than he needed. And so with those considerations, we think now's the time to re-energize and also, more importantly, rebuild the travel policy process and procedures. One of the things that obviously I mentioned before is, what is the purpose and need for the travel policy? And of course, you all on this phone are very seasoned travel managers, and you know travel's expensive, it's complicated, it's frustrating, and today it's even dangerous. So we have to address those, because by law, the companies that we all work for are liable for the safety and security of our travelers. And one of the things, the best and most important thing a company travel policy does is protect that traveler in many different ways. And we hope that along with that, we can take that travel policy and answer the questions of when to travel, how to book that travel, what to spend, and how to stay safe when you do travel. So those areas have to be addressed with your travel policy. Many do that. And so today we're going to say, how do we communicate that? And really, this is a communication seminar, if you think about it. If you back it all off, we're saying, how do we communicate with a traveler that will give us 30 to 45 seconds and that basically wants to do their job, get to Chicago, and get back home? So the questions that we have to answer is, how do we make it easier? A travel policy needs to be a roadmap that employees, it makes it easier for them. We need to share the things that they must do but we've got to build in enough flexibility to allow them to remove some of the pain of travel. If we can remove pain of travel, people will follow our instructions and they will view us as their coach. We have to think of ourselves as a coach, not a boss. We are there to coach them. And let's make it travel easier. And that may be impossible in some cases to make it easier, but we can make it as easy as possible. The next area that we really fail at is how do we make it short and sweet? No one reads anything longer than 3 paragraphs. I think a travel policy should be a bulleted list at best. And we've got another format we're going to show you that we think the industry will move to rapidly that will add a visual concept to that. And if you think about it, the best possible policy would be 1 page. And as we talked about, we will address that. The other thing is people have a very short attention span, and we need to serve up travel policy in small bites. They don't want to memorize their travel policy. With technology today, we can serve up policy as they make their reservations, as they travel. The technology can be done obviously on a mobile device, and we can serve it up in small bites. Why do we try to give them a 30-page, which they won't read, when we can literally, through our technology today, bring that to their attention in 1 or 2 paragraphs as they are traveling on their smartphone, or when they're making their reservations either at their desktop or on their mobile device. We can pop up what their preferred hotels are. We can pop up what the preferred airlines are when they're flying to Pittsburgh, and all the other travel benefits. And that's the most important thing for them, is we forget to answer the question, what's in it for them? If we build our policies and our programs answering the question, what's in it for them, the traveler, they will be fully engaged. But we tend to think in a one-way or unilateral concept instead of what's in it for the traveler as well as the company. Travel managers should focus on building in strong perks that make travel easier. We need to focus on upgrades, amenities, and other conveniences that make life on the road easier. And you all know, we all know, that when you're traveling on the road, it's work. It's not fun anymore. We have to make it so much easier when we're building our travel programs and then communicate it with our travel policies. Make it visual. The slide is very exciting. We have been working with one of our good friends as a travel manager at TD Ameritrade, Ruben Levitt, and he's come up with a fascinating concept using a Prezi presentation that allows to put a travel policy all on 1 page. So literally it's taking that 30 pages of travel policy, still allowed for the detail, but allowed it to be presented in a drilled down method visually on the computer or on the mobile device. This is an example of literally a Prezi presentation that I've got 2 or 3 or 4 slides here that allows a person to go in and literally click on each of these circles to go in to answer any of the questions related to all the issues of making reservations, making hotel reservations. I'm going to click through here quickly, and this shows you an example of a Prezi where you can drill in and drill out. This is a slide of ground transportation, and it will answer every question they need about ground transportation. Private ground transportation, if they had a national contract, they could click on that and find out, what the policy is on that. But literally, they've reduced their travel policy all to a Prezi, and you have a very visual presentation that people will actually read because it's so visual and easy to access and drill down and drill out of. And you'll notice that it'll come back out, and you can drill down to Avis. It'll show the car rates and the discounts available, and and literally allow you to back in and back out of that. The other thing is that we have to make our travel policies more contemporary. Some people may or may not allow for Uber or Lyft or Airbnb or other types of cards and activities when they travel. But if it's not in the travel policy, that doesn't mean they're not going to be using those. And I use Uber as a perfect example. When you go to many travel policies today, you go through them, they don't even mention Uber. Well, how can you not mention Uber? Even if you don't allow Uber, you should say, we do not as a company allow you to use Uber because of this, and this reason. The same for Lyft, the same for Airbnb. We do not, or we do allow you to use Airbnb. And you need to address it. You have to be contemporary today. And just by ignoring it actually makes them not go to your travel policy because it's not even comprehensive and it's not contemporary. So please make it contemporary. If you haven't made a decision on these issues, then just say, we have not authorized the use of Lyft or Uber. As of this point in time, you are required to use car rentals, taxis, and other means of transportation. The other thing that we want people to do is focus on centralized enforcement. And as you know, enforcement is key to having compliance with your travel program. And we think there's many ways that you can centralize that enforcement through the payment process. And our focus is in the future, because of virtual card payment and other payment processes, literally a traveler is going to be able to go onto the road without having a credit card in their pocket. If you look at the airline reservations, those today are done without usually many travelers having a credit card. The hotels through virtual card payment program allow for the payment of the hotel without a credit card in a traveler's pocket. And more importantly, it drives compliance to the travel program, because if they're going to pay for the hotel, it has to be through a virtual payment system. Car rentals can easily be done without a credit card system as well. So the three biggest costs in travel can today be easily done and allow for full compliance by the traveler. The meals and entertainment and other things are perhaps the only area that are limited and do require some form of payment by the traveler. One of the things that I wanted to focus on today is to allow for a focus on some short videos that we have put together. And these are 30 to 45-second videos. And we are introducing them to the travelers. And the travelers, it's a way to communicate, why would you make a reservation? When do you make a reservation? What are the advantages for you to booking a hotel through the travel program of the company? And I've got 3 short videos that I'd like to, at this time, share with you. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the audio of those videos. So I will start the first one now as an example. The nice thing about these videos, they can be emailed to your travelers. If somebody is not making their hotel reservations using your hotel, your company's hotel process, you can email those to them easily. Your travel management company can set up systems so if there's no hotel in the reservation, this gets emailed to them to communicate why would they want to book their hotel through the travel management system that the company has set up. And so with that, also all 3 of these videos will be sent out to those that are attending the session today. We'll email these out to you to give you a sample of what can be done. So with that, I'm going to start the first video.
Where can Acme Corporation travelers find the best hotel rates? Acme Corporation took the Expedia challenge to see if our hotel rates, negotiated by Executive Travel, were competitive with the online giant Expedia. Consulting firm Zulu Solutions was engaged to compare Acme Corporation hotel rates in 18 cities where we have negotiated room rates, and discovered our negotiated rates were lower than Expedia rates by an average of $56.15 per night, or 22%. Finding the best prices for your hotels for your next business trip is easy. Simply book your hotels through the Acme Corporation Travel Program to receive the best rates and special negotiated amenities such as free breakfast, Wi-Fi, parking, airport shuttles, and even room upgrades when available. The Acme Corporation Travel Program, powered by Executive Travel. A great way to simplify your travel and save our company money.
So that's a perfect example of a small video, a short video that each company could have for themselves that communicates the advantages to the traveler of using that in the form of all the amenities they can use, free amenities, but it also explains to them the financial benefit that the company receives by them using negotiated rates that have been built by the travel management company with the corporation involved. The next video I have, we'll start it now.
The following are 5 smart travel tips to help us save money when you travel. Number 1, book travel at least 14 days in advance. When analyzing our top domestic travel markets, booking with at least a 14-day advance can save as much as 30% for airline tickets. Number 2, book all simple domestic and international travel with your online booking tool. Booking online saves time and money. Number 3, when booking with Executive Travel's online booking tool, book air, car, and hotels together. If you're not ready to book a hotel or car when booking air, just wait until you're ready and use the ad links provided in your itinerary. Number 4, always use preferred partners. Preferred airlines, hotels, and cars are easy to identify as they've been flagged in our online booking tools, indicating their status. Number 5, book with Executive Travel, your partner in travel management. When you book through Executive Travel, our company has your back. This allows us to help monitor your safety and security when traveling. Booking with Executive Travel also gives us the ability to change flights due to delays or cancellation. These are the 5 tips that can help simplify your travel plan.
This video is a great video to introduce new travelers or new employees that join the company. It simply shows the process of making a travel reservation, the benefit of it, and how you literally go about making those reservations. Literally in 60 seconds, what this video took, you probably covered about 5 pages of a travel policy handbook. And guess what? They're more likely to watch this 60-second video than to read those 5 pages. And so it's a very easy thing that can be sent or emailed to a new traveler, a new employee. It could even be implemented through your HR department as an easy way to do that. So that's video number 2, and now we'll go to video number 3.
When's the best time to book your airline tickets? A recent study by Executive Travel reviewed ticket prices to 15 top destinations in the U.S. found that the average round-trip airfare for same-day departures was $563. If you make a reservation 7 days in advance, the average airfare drops to $369, a savings of $194. If you make your travel reservation with a 14-day advance purchase, the average price drops to $247, an additional savings of $122. Amazingly, making an airline reservation with more than a 14-day advance purchase did not save any money at all. The rule of thumb is that booking your airline tickets with Executive Travel 7 days in advance saves you almost $200. Booking with a 14-day advance purchase saves you an additional $100 or more. Travel insights. Another way Executive Travel helps you simplify travel.
And this video is a perfect video to explain when they should make their travel reservations. A lot of travelers don't understand what the cost is and what the advantages of advance purchase are. Many people think if you buy it 3 months in advance, you'll save more money than if you buy it 21 days in advance. And that is not the case by the numbers. The point that this video is that 14 days does save them money. They pay more if they wait and go 7 days, and they'll pay even more if they do it last minute. And they need to understand those stair steps. And a simple video like that helps educate them it's very difficult to do that in travel policy, but with a visualization and a short video of 30 to 45 seconds that can be communicated to them. And especially, this is a great video to send out. You can literally have your TMC run a report of the number of travelers that booked way in advance or booked within 7 days. And you can send this out to them and say, hey, we want you to be aware of when you should try to make your travel reservations. And that's why the travel policy says try to make those with 7 or 14-day advance. So those are the 3 videos that we have to share the new process of communication. Once again, on this presentation and seminar, the focus of today is we need to make the traveler aware of the travel policy. We need to add simplicity to our communication and our travel policy, and then it will be relevant to the process. We need to let them understand why it's so important, and if we answer the question, what's in it for me, they will be compliant. They will, once they understand there's a great advantage to them and the company by following the policies that the company's put together. It's our responsibility to simplify that communication in a form so that they can digest it. And with that short 25-minute presentation, I'd be ready to answer any questions that may be posed in the chat box on the right-hand side. Otherwise, I would remind everybody that Ryan Swihart will be touching base with you and sending these copies of these videos if you'd like. If I'm most excited about the Prezi presentation that allows for your travel policy to be put in a Prezi format, so it's all visualized versus on a 30-page travel policy. So any questions that might be posted? I'll wait just 30 seconds, and if not, we'll end today's session. Seeing none, I'll turn the mic over to Ryan. And once again, this is Steve Glenn with Executive Travel, thanking you for your valuable time this morning. We've enjoyed putting this presentation together and be happy to answer any questions that you might pose later as Ryan reaches out to you. Thank you.
Hey, wanted to thank you guys so much for joining us. It does mean a lot. We're always trying to provide as much information and value as we can to the industry, so we appreciate you guys joining us today. If you do have some questions now, if you want to go ahead and ask them, that'd be great. If you don't have any now and you maybe think of some later on, please feel free to reach out to me, and I can get you an answer for what you're looking for. Also, I will be sending out a follow-up email just to get you those links. So if you do want to kind of get a better idea of how those videos can be utilized to kind of inform your travelers on kind of, excuse me, how their travel is being handled and how you enforce that policy. So again, wanted to, oh, okay. So Janice, thanks for the question. We did record the webinar today, and we will get it out to you. So we can send you the presentation for sure. All right, and if there are no other questions, again, just wanted to thank you for joining us this morning. Again, it does mean a lot, and we do appreciate your time. Thanks so much, guys.